Recording in progress.
What? Yes, I know. Okay. Anticipation.
State law requires this body to announce at this time that a copy of the current Open Meetings Act is available at the back of the room where it is accessible to the public. Weiss. Here. Teller.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
Gibbons.
Here.
Harrington.
Here.
Euchre.
Here.
Johnson.
Here. I'll stand for a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1, consent agenda. Approve this agenda, pay the claims as submitted, approve the treasurer's report for February 2023, and approve the minutes of the March 7th, 2023 regular meeting of the council.
So moved.
Dale?
Second.
Larry?
Euchre.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Weiss.
Abstain.
Teller.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Gibbons.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Thank you. Public forum, 2 minutes. Please state your name.
Anybody here for public forum?
Non-agenda items.
Just comes to mind, they're not agenda items. My name's Jess Lammers. Just a couple of things that come to my attention. Is there a reason the city does not pursue matching county dollars from the county for the library? There's been a big to-do made about the airport and how it's a community airport and people outside of the city should be on the board, yada yada. However, it's a library that everyone in the county or anyone can use publicly. So why hasn't the city petitioned the county for matching money? I'll let you all think about that, talk to your lawyer, whatever. I don't really expect an answer. I don't expect you'll answer on my next question either. You passed an ordinance, you published an ordinance about abandoned and abated property and how rental property should be administered, and making a new board or public body or some nuisance authority in regards to how people manage their real estate or real personal property. Well, first, it seems like double taxation without representation, because if you've already paid your property tax, if you want to leave your rental property vacant and claim the lost rental income as a negative for your business entity because it's profitable to do that, you should be able to do that in the private sector. And the city advocating or making rules, laws, and ordinances that stop people from doing what they choose with their personal private property is an abrogation to the Constitution as a whole. And in my opinion, the whole ordinance telling people what to do with their private property would violate everyone at bar's oath of office, because you took an oath to uphold the Constitution, but then you participated in the writing of an ordinance that directly violates it by telling people what to do with their personal property and in what manner to do it. Now, if I choose to manage my personal property under the tax code in a way that lets me run that property into disrepair or even vacant repair that I can't rent it, who are you, a government entity, to tell me what to do with my private property? I thought that's why this great country seceded from England all those years ago. Comments? Did any public member or landlord speak out about the ordinance you passed charging fees for leaving rental addresses vacant, which your fees, your administrative fees, if your trust, holding company, and LLCs are structured correctly, are a positive for someone who made money somewhere else. If the farm makes money, it's good for me when the rentals lose money. If cows make money, it's good for me that corn loses money. You just got to work like a bookie. Turkey, Big Ed, they've been doing it for years. You just put 50% of your bet on both sides of the line and take 10% off the top. So again, I don't understand why the city's wasting time, money, and minutia, which is essentially tax dollars. But no other citizen came and complained or said anything about it, so essentially no one cared. Or no one knew.
All right, thank you. Your time's up. Anybody else for public forum? All right, at this point I will close public forum. Number 3, approve the request for a food vendor truck parking at the auditorium on Saturday, April 21st, 2023 for the Spring Craft Show.
The date's wrong, just so you know, so it's April 22nd. The
Okay.
21st is a Friday.
Okay,
Same thing we've been doing for the past 10 years. We just would like to have Scott, or if Scott's still doing the building, have him put some cones out so that when the food truck comes, we can just block off that little bit of the street in front of the city auditorium for our food truck to be there. It's easy to serve right off the sidewalk there versus on the side. This year we're having Big Pig come. We try and change the vendor every year, so that's all we would like, just to have that approved that we can block this street, probably from like 10 to 2, I would say the time frame, unless he sells out sooner, then
Right.
he'll obviously leave before then.
right, okay. You have
No problem.
No problem. Chief, do you have no issue? Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Ben? Corey, seconds.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Duker,
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Item 4, review and accept the City of Holdrege annual audit from KSO CPAs. And I believe Brooke Miller, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brooke Miller, and I'm a CPA and shareholder at KSO CPAs in Kearney. We have been doing the audit for years, 30 years maybe, I don't know. So I'm just going to run over some of the highlights and then open it up for if anybody has any questions. We audited the financial statements for the City of Holdrege for the year ended September 30th, 2022. The financial statements are the responsibility of management to prepare and fairly present. Our responsibility is to express an opinion on the financial statements. In our opinion, the financial statements are presented fairly, which is considered a clean, unmodified opinion. Some of the financial highlights for the year: the assets of the city exceeded its liabilities by $31,959,447. Of this almost $32 million, $5,919,000 can be used to meet the city's ongoing regular obligations. The total net position, or net income, increased by $1,329,000 for the year. This was made up of an increase in your governmental activities of $1,045,000 and an increase in the business type or utility activities of $283,000. The total debt of the city increased by $494,619 during the year. This was made up of principal payments and new debt. Payments were $347,000 and principal payments were $825,000. In the business type activities and funds, the landfill net position or net income decreased by $330,601. The electric increased by $601,995. Water increased by $160,477, and sewer decreased by $148,493. some major capital purchases during the year. A Pierce Enforcer fire truck for $805,000. A Pierce Enforcer heavy rescue unit for $555,000. Some East Street paving between 9th and 11th for $493,830. Upgrades to the dispatch equipment of $231,964. And ball field improvements that were in progress of $150,943. Lastly, we just want to let you know that Mary does a great job, and she's always very organized and helpful, and she's always very responsive to our questions. When we come, she always has everything completely done and ready, so we always appreciate her work, because not all cities are like that. Because the city has a smaller staff, we just encourage the council to remain involved throughout the year, ask questions about anything unusual or out of the ordinary, and always review the financials regularly. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Can you tell me your name again?
Brooke Miller.
Any questions, comments?
I do have a question. On the page 9 of the report on proprietary funds, when it talks about the unrestricted net position, I was looking at, I don't know if it was the next page, if that's where that will be. I have a question mark here. Just show me what that means by that, like the landfill. What does that actually mean, that it's unrestricted net position?
So unrestricted net position means that it's funds that are available or not available for spending. So each fund has a balance, and so the unrestricted net position for the landfill is a negative $3 million.
It means we don't have the money.
Correct. It has been operating, I believe, at a loss for quite a while.
Okay, and see, you have that little hyphen in between or on all of them, so were they all negatives? Or is that just a hyphen?
That's just a hyphen. If it's negative, it's in parentheses.
Oh, I see, okay. All right,
That's why we made adjustments this year.
okay.
Same thing with the water.
Electric and the water and the
Yeah,
sewer,
yeah,
okay.
that's why those adjustments have been made.
Okay.
And we will be coming with landfill rate changes in the near future.
Right. Any other questions?
Give me one moment. I might have a question mark right
Do you get this report too?
I left mine at home. It's under my pillow.
there. That's all that I had.
Okay, all right. Anybody else? I will accept the motion to approve the audit.
I so moved.
Dale Hart, Larry Gibbons,
Ether,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Weiss. Yes. Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Herring.
Yes.
thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke.
Yep.
Item 5, approve Kim Klein as a new member of the Citizens Advisory Review Committee, term expiring December 2025. As you know, there's 2 openings on, commonly referred to as a watchdog committee. This is one of those, to fill one of those positions. Kim's a local businesswoman. I think she has a pretty good business sense, and would appreciate the, I think she agreed to do this, so. Huh?
Is Jeremy on one of those boards?
No.
No. I'll make the motion to
Okay,
approve.
Ben,
I'll second.
Lola,
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Euchre,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
thank you. Item 6, approve Zachary Gray as a new member of the Citizen Advisory Review Committee, term expiring December 2025. Zach, who is here tonight, is a lawyer here in town. I think he would be a good addition to this review committee.
I'll make the motion.
Ben? Corey?
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Euchre,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. 7, consider awarding the bid for the baseball field grading and irrigation.
And that does include the infield prep with all the surface material and the warning track.
It does or doesn't?
It does.
It does.
Yes.
And this was the loan,
I'm sorry.
this was the loan bid that we got?
This is the loan bid. I think that some of the bidders are maybe apprehensive because the city has bid this out a few times and never pulled the trigger on it.
What were the other numbers like, do you remember?
Jacob, do you remember what they were? I think they were in the 600 to 700,000 range the last time.
In the original bid, which was right kind of around when COVID was hitting, and I think that was part of the reason it wasn't awarded. This work, you know, obviously that was over 2 years ago. We all know inflation's been crazy. But I think it's probably about 20% more than it was like 2.5 years ago. But our estimates, when we were looking at what's the next chunk that we can complete here. So we were looking at completing a chunk of work that's definitely under $1 million. That was kind of our goal. So we were targeting right around like the 900 to $1 million range. And with the bids we got, the first bid there is all sodding for the $965,500, and then an alternate to just use seeding, which is $850. With seeding, there's more risk about how long it takes to be established, and it's not, you know, you're instantly playing ball once they're done. So.
Which that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, and that, it does make sense where we're not, this isn't going to be a complete package. We do not have the concrete as part of this, all the walkways, the dugouts. So no concrete's included in this, and no fencing is included in this. What has been done with the lighting, the concession stand, the mass grading, overlot grading has been done, water and sewer services, all that stuff is completed. We do have infield drainage in place, installed. So this will be the next step to get basically all the dirt, all the infield, the warning tracks, the seed / sod, and all the irrigation. There's a pretty good sized booster pump that's required. It's a pretty good chunk of that bid. So that's what this bid encompasses. And then the next step further down the road would be to get the fencing and concrete put in.
So your grass base would be in place before we continue with the dugouts and everything else, give it a chance to take a hold.
Correct. Yeah, so doing the seeding makes sense. If you were doing all the concrete and fencing, we want to play ball tomorrow,
Yep.
do the sod right. So that was the recommendation, and that, in our engineer's opinion, that's a fair price.
Either way, it's not projected to be done until November.
Yeah, the substantial completion date is right around end of November, or 15th of November is substantial.
So at that point, sod or seed.
They'd like to seed it in the fall.
Right.
Yeah, it should be established.
So it won't be ready, won't even be ready then next year.
Well, the seed, they said the grass would be ready by the spring, but we're not, if we find some money to put some fencing in, then we could play. So we've got to get.
And part of the requirements would be to get the seeding established, which means it's not perfect. It's in your like 80% range, but then you get the irrigation's there to help it. And then in the fall, if there's dead spots or bare spots or something got winter kill, the contractor would be responsible to come back and fix that as a punch item. So then in spring, you know, once everything starts turning green, your fields should be good to go as far as the materials.
If we do that, are we looking to be able to find money for fencing so we can play next year?
Well, I would really like to, Ben. Depends on how Mary and I end up with the budget, so I mean.
Well, it's been a long time.
If somebody would like to make a donation, I would accept that, so.
Would this be a regular seeding process or hydro seed?
It is the drilling and mulching.
It is. Good.
So yeah, not just broadcast.
Good.
There was a question about the amendments.
Yes, please.
I don't have all three listed exactly what we did, but what changed, we'd always thought this was just, we're gonna sod it, and we put it out to bid. Said, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense. Like, we should probably look at seeding it. So that was one change, and then the bid dates and the completion dates were updated. Here in March, I was still writing a 2022 down, so I had a question from the contractor. That's in the past. So the completion date got updated to 2023. And then with the seating, there was some specifications as far as the mix types, the installation, the process, how the contractor is defined as substantially complete. We just had to put some more fine print in there. So that pretty much covers the three amendments or addendums. Nothing major changed on the plans though.
Okay.
With this plan, does that cover any spraying or treatment for the next year or anything like that? Is any of that in there?
The warranty work is good for a year, and they are responsible for the fertilizers and the pesticides up front until it's established and they are final complete. I don't believe it involves fertilizing and pesticides the following year though. But if you have dead spots or kill spots or winter kill, that would be covered under a warranty period.
Who is the oversight person? You or
Myself, the engineers.
So you go in and as things get done, you're the one?
Well, we have construction services, that would be the engineering firm that's gonna do that.
Oh,
Verify
okay.
that that's.
Yeah, as far as construction admin, we'll answer questions, we'll make site visits. You guys probably know Jess, you don't know my face. I'm out of the Kearney office, but I'm the project engineer. I was the lead designer on it, so it made sense for me to come for more of the technical questions. But Jess would be, dropping by as requested and, periodically to make sure stuff's getting done right. We would be the inspectors along with the city representatives to make sure stuff was being built per plan. And basically you get the product that you're paying for.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name is Jacob Reiter, R-E-I-T-E-R. So yeah, Jess will be the guy with boots on the ground.
Jess would have been here tonight, but he's on vacation.
Yeah, he covered me last week, so I figured
You owed him.
I owed him one.
Any other questions, comments?
Only from your notes. Can I go ahead and ask you off the
Sure.
administrator notes? Okay, you wrote in here possibly 2 times to do some value engineering, is what you had said, or possibly save money. And my question to you then is, why not check what the savings might be first? And then
Because we need to award the bid first before we can move to that next step. We don't know if those are gonna be viable options. And they're not going to look into those unless they have the bid to do this, and then we can kind of move forward.
Okay.
It's not uncommon to make a change order on a project like this.
Okay.
It's good to bring the contractor into those conversations too. Sometimes they have ideas that the guy sitting at the desk doesn't, so.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We've already planned for this, correct?
Correct.
We budgeted for it.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything else. We're gonna do this.
I'll make the motion to move forward with the seating.
Okay. Second,
I'll second it.
Dale?
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Wolf,
Yes.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Bucher,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Thanks, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob. Open discussion. Chief?
Have interviews with the Civil Service Commission for tomorrow. Two candidates. I have 3 spots to fill, so hopefully we get those 2 filled and we'll go from there.
Good, excellent. Is one of those the
Certified.
certified tab? Okay. Good. Great. Anything else? Thank you. Okay.
The next meeting will be electronic agendas and packets, so I won't be delivering anything.
Not even gonna give us a month to get on it?
So if you have questions, feel free to drop by or give me a call, I'll be glad to answer them.
There will always be a hard copy in the office.
Yeah, well, you hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, there will always be a hard copy available. I put a legal pad in everybody's drawer. And I probably will make you an agenda with spaces in it so that you can make notes in the agenda and take it with you.
Yeah, I'm like already frozen up, so I see us. So we're moving slower. Do we have a very short agenda next?
We
Bob. Yeah, so far,
it might take all night to get far. We haven't started yet.
Yeah, right.
Anything else? Thank you. Chris?
On a good note, I was in Lincoln today for a Public Alliance Community Energy Board meeting, and natural gas prices are on the decline. Compared to what they were last year, at the same time, they're about 30 cents less per therm. So they're trending downward, so that should help everyone if you have any gas to your house this year. The selection period to choose your gas provider is April 6th through April 26th. So make a choice. If you just roll over, you get the highest rate possible. So even if you just stay with the same provider, please make a choice because you'll get a better deal. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Ben?
I have nothing.
Trent? Welcome back.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Be back. No. Oh, and by the way, thank you for the sunshine and warmer weather.
You're welcome. Whatever I can do.
Just put it on my tab. Table.
I have nothing that I
All right, thank you. Mr. Gibbons?
Nothing.
Thank you. Stacy?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Lola?
No, nothing for
Okay, thank you. Gary? Okay. Natalie?
Nothing for me.
Jim?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Ryan?
No, sir.
Okay. Mary?
Nothing for me.
Thank you for a good job on the audit.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. With that, we'll call it a day.
Report on, I guess we're going to be working on it.